Let me look into this document from the Auditor General. Thank God somebody sent the document to me. This is the Auditor General's Information Technological Report, February 2026, for the website Support Jamaica. Support Jamaica website, yeah? That's what it is, ladies and gentlemen. Alright? What we are do? It's something that woke me, you know? Huh? Oh, see there. So, I wonder if the Wi-Fi is set back now. So, let us look into this article here, ladies and gentlemen. Still need more space. The Auditor General is appointed by the Governor General and is required by the Constitution, Financial Administration Audit Act, other sundry acts, and letters of engagement to conduct audits at least once per year of the accounts, financial transaction, operation, and financial statements of central government ministries, departments, local government agencies, statutory bodies, and government companies. The department is headed by the Auditor General Pamela Monroe Ellis, who submits her report to the Speaker of the House Representative in accordance with the Section 122 of the Constitution of Jamaica and Section 29 of Financial Administration and Audit Act. This report was prepared by the Auditor General Department of Jamaica for presentation to the House of Representatives, ladies and gentlemen. So, tables of content, Auditor General, executive summary, what we found and what should be done. That's what I'm interested in right here. So let's get to that. Let's get to that, ladies and gentlemen. These 3 pages I want to go to first. Yeah?
Auditor General's Forward. The audit of Hurricane Melissa relief was undertaken to determine whether activities were executed with due regard to transparency and accountability. This report is focused on the Hurricane Melissa relief website, supportjamaica.gov.jm, with particular emphasis on the adequacy of access management and data privacy controls. The findings presented herein are intended to support continuous improvement in the management and security of the supportjamaica.gov.jm website, while enhancing accountability and protecting the integrity of information collected from and made available to the public. I wish to thank the management of Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, Odpem, and the Office of the Prime Minister, OPM, for their responsiveness and courtesies extended to my staff. Pamela Monroe Ellis, FCA, FCA Auditor General. Page 5 Real-Time Audit of the Hurricane Melissa Relief Initiative, February 2026. Executive Summary. Upon the approach of Hurricane Melissa on October 28, 2025, the Government of Jamaica established the supportjamaica.gov.jm website as a central digital platform to support national disaster response. The website was intended to serve as a single point for the collection and management of financial and in-kind donations, volunteer registration and coordination, emergency reporting, and engagement with local and international stakeholders. Its use formed a part of the government's broader approach to the Hurricane Melissa relief and recovery efforts. The main objective of this real-time audit is to assess the transparency and accountability of resources received and utilized under the Hurricane Melissa relief initiatives. Specifically, the audit seeks to determine whether internal controls are adequate to prevent fraud, waste, and abuse of public resources during the disaster response and recovery. This report focuses on assessing whether appropriate IT controls exist over the www.supportjamaica.gov.jm website. Our findings to date are highlighted below. What we found. Key audit question. Did appropriate IT controls exist over the supportjamaica.gov.jm website to ensure information security? Information security, IS, governance gaps. 1. Our review identified significant weaknesses in Odpem's information security (IS) governance framework, which impacted the access controls over the Support Jamaica website. We found that Odpem did not have formally approved information security (IS) or access control policies and procedures to govern the assignment, management, and monitoring of user rights across its information systems. In the absence of an established access policy, Odpem operated without an enforceable standard for the provisioning, modification, and deprovisioning of user accounts on the Support Jamaica administrative dashboard. Consequently, Odpem was exposed to an elevated risk of inappropriate or unauthorized access, inconsistent security practices, and weakened overall control of its information systems.
Pause right there, so. This is from the Auditor General's report, ladies and gentlemen. Odpem was exposed to elevated risk of inappropriate and unauthorized access, inconsistent security practices, and weakened overall control of its information system. Not my word. That is a direct quote from the Auditor General's report. In the absence of an established access policy, Odpem operated without an enforceable standard for the provision, modification, deprovisioning of user accounts on the Support Jamaica administrative dashboard. Consequently, Odpem was exposed to an elevated risk of inappropriate or unauthorized access, inconsistent security practices, and weakened overall control of its information systems. Jamaica, what did anything happen at that point in time? Tell you, man. I tell you, boy. These people. Let's continue.
Systems. Inadequate user access management. 2. In light of the foregoing, we found that access was granted to 8 external officers without documented requests, formal approvals, or evidence that the permissions assigned aligned with. Page 6 Real-time audit of the hurricane.
In light of foregoing, we find that access was granted to 8 external officers without documented requests, formal approvals, or evidence that the permission assigned aligned with. Hold on there. Aligned with their official roles and responsibility. So, individuals were given access that they're not sure if they were permitted to get access. In light of the foregoing, we found that access was granted to 8 external officers without documented requests, formal approvals, or evidence that the permission assigned aligned with their official roles and responsibilities. Man, you cannot make this up, bro. You can't make this up. Red flag.
The audit confirmed the deprovisioning of only 2 officers, as the relevant audit log evidence was unavailable for the other 6 accounts. Additionally, we noted that 1 individual was elevated to super admin status and subsequently provisioned multiple accounts without a documented basis for the level or duration of access granted. Similarly, we found that the head of the entity was assigned the super admin role that provides full administrative, operational reporting and security privileges, though system administration responsibilities were not consistent with his job function or justified. As a result, there is an increased risk of unauthorized access to sensitive donor, financial, and administrative data, potential misuse of system privileges, and noncompliance with applicable data protection laws. Man,
listen. This I get worse and worse. This is getting worse and worse, ladies and gentlemen. I don't like this. I don't like this. The audit confirmed that the deprovisioning of only 2 officers as relevant audit log evidence was unavailable for the other 6 accounts. So out of the 8 people, right, there was no only 2 of them had relevant audit logs. The other 6 don't have any. This is another situation of no accountability. Additionally, we noted that one individual was elevated to super admin status and subsequently provisioned multiple accounts without a documented basis for the level or duration of access granted. Similarly, we found that the head of the entity was assigned the super admin role that provides full administrative, operational, reporting, and security privileges. Those system administration responsibilities were not consistent with his job function or justified. The head of the entity, you mean, who is the head of the entity? You mean the Indian man? What a backside. As a result, there is an increased risk of unauthorized access to sensitive donor financial and administrative data, potential misuse of system privilege, and non-compliance with applicable data protection laws. Yeah, you can't make this up, bro. So if there was any damage to be done, ladies and gentlemen, it would be already done. The damage would have already been done. The access would have already been granted. What a preke. What a bangarang. Me glad say none of my family member them never donate to this website. Yeah. Thank God.
Non-compliance with the Data Protection Act. 3. In December 2025, Odpem and the developer of Support Jamaica platform executed a data processing agreement, formally designating Odpem as data controller and the private developer as data processor. While the agreement referenced compliance with the DPA, GDPR Article 32, and SOC 2 security standards, there was no evidence that Odpem verified the private developer's compliance with those requirements. Odpem also did provide evidence of assurances obtained to confirm the implementation of the technical and organizational safeguards mentioned in the agreement. Additionally, documentary evidence obtained indicated that the private developer was not SOC 2 Type 2 compliant at the date of the agreement or launch of the website. 4. Additionally, our review of the privacy policy on the Support Jamaica website revealed that the data processor's access to personal data was not disclosed. The policy also advised users to contact Odpem's data protection officer, but the entity had not appointed a DPO in breach of Section 20 of the DPA. Up to January 11, 2026, donations were successfully made by 16,900 individuals on the platform, while 4,628 individuals registered as volunteers.
Yo, let me tell you something, man. Any damage we do, Karen, what's up? Any damage we do already. We can't tell none of that. This up to January 11th. I want the people to start doing it. Any crime, any damage, any potential crime damage we do already. Yeah, so we never get one. Remember the man, no much time, see me say when you some play. Remember the brother who said, don't send no money to Andrew Honest. The people will never see the money. You remember that brother there? Alright. Alright. Why may I tell you, man? The man was, they were not SOC compliant at the date of the agreement or the launch of the website. Mighty God. All of these problems, what should be done? I don't know.
Volunteers.
Volunteers. Volunteers. What should be done? Done. 1. Management should approve and implement a formal access control policy that requires documented justification for all user accounts, including those which may be assigned to external entities and government ministries, departments, and agencies. Access should be granted strictly in accordance with an individual's roles and responsibilities and be aligned with the principle of least privilege. The policy should also require the timely deprovisioning of user access when access is no longer required, including upon role changes, completion of relief activities, or termination of employment or engagement. A centralized log of access requests, approvals, modifications, and removals should also be maintained. Additionally, periodic reviews of user accounts and monitoring of privileged accounts should be implemented to ensure continued appropriateness of access granted. 2. Odpem should immediately require the private developer, as the data processor, to provide documented and independently verifiable evidence demonstrating compliance with the technical and organizational security measures stipulated in the data processing agreement. This should include confirmation of the safeguards implemented to protect personal and sensitive data collected through the supportjamaica.gov.jm platform, along with evidence of ongoing monitoring arrangements. Page 7 Real-Time Audit of the Hurricane Melissa Relief Initiative February 2026. 3. To strengthen governance, accountability, and statutory compliance, Odpem must complete registration as a data controller with the Office of the Information Commissioner, OIC, and formally appoint a data protection officer, as required by the DPA. 4. Finally, Odpem should review and update the privacy notice on the Support Jamaica website to accurately disclose the private developer's role and access as a data processor, thereby ensuring transparency, reinforcing data subject trust, and aligning public-facing statements with actual data processing practices.
So, if you look back on what they recommended, the opposite was happening. Management should approve and implement a formal access control policy that requires documented justification for all user accounts, including those which may be assigned to external entities and government ministries. Hey, I'm telling you something. I wait for a mystic sensation for the One Piece pan listener. Because if indeed the Indian brother are run this entity here, if a film company really are run this website here, there's some similarities to other things that happened in the past. And I don't think it's a coincidence. And I think Mystic Sensation will be piecing it together, ladies and gentlemen. Seeing, me just touch upon that, the part of it, what was not compliant and what needs to be done, ladies and gentlemen. In another live stream, we'll be going more in depth. You understand? In the reading here, cause this the next what 14-15 pages. It gonna take one whole live stream, and really and truly, I think I need to do this tonight when I do my late night live, and I'm going to try and start 10 o'clock. So we're going to go over the rest of this document 10 o'clock tonight, ladies and gentlemen. July 2024. It's important that we do. So for those who are interested, make sure that you're on Bolo VNR 2.0 at 10 p.m. tonight. We're going to go over the rest of this document with the Auditor General and dive deeper into the intricacies around the investigation around this website at Odpem. Alright, my people? Yes. Remember to like this video. Remember to share this video. Zin? Yes.